Thank you for joining us at Grateful Gratitude with Lolo and Lexi. We are practicing gratitude girls that strive every day to recognize and celebrate our blessings. We are a mother and daughter that practice gratitude every day and put God in the center of our life. The only way to live a blessed and happy life is to be grateful. May you feel God's love and blessing each and every day.
All right, it is time for another episode of Grateful Gratitude with Lolo and Lexi, and I've got Lolo here.
We're going to have Lolo for a couple of these, and then we'll have Lexi back.
Okay, and we're going to talk today about relaxing and slowing down.
Yes,
cool.
We are. Every day it seems like we become more and more rushed. We tell people we don't have time to meet with them, and we're at the end of the day trying to catch up. And did you realize that sleeplessness and sleep deprivation actually costs the U.S. about $411 billion in productivity every year?
I did not realize that, but I raised my hand because I'm so incredibly guilty of that.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, I thought maybe I need to speak up. But so how much sleep do you get in a night?
I'm embarrassed to tell you. I get, on a very good night, 5.5 hours.
Wow, that's not very much.
No. And even that 5.5 hours is spread out into like a 2.5 hour and a 3 hour period.
So do you have restless sleep then, or are you just...
No, when I sleep good.
Okay.
I sleep well.
Okay.
But when I wake up, like if someone or something were to wake me up, like a dog, once I'm awake, I'm awake.
Oh, you can't fall right back
and
to
I can't
sleep.
fall back to sleep. And the other thing is, I can't lay in a completely dark, silent room and try to go to sleep because my mind will just start racing about things I have to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, most people get 6.5 hours. And of course, we know how much a doctor recommends, right?
That's about 8.
Yeah, 7.5 to 8.
Look at me.
So because people are not getting enough sleep, there's more, the sleeplessness causes people to have more on-the-job accidents. They're not as happy at their job because they haven't had enough sleep. And a lot of people get ill and they take time off work. So that's what causes all that productivity issue. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the Sabbath. And, we are told in the Bible and by God, you work 6 days and then you rest a day. And that day of rest, I think a lot of people think that means you can't do anything. You just have to sit idly, read the Bible all day or go to church and come home. And that's really not what it means. What it means is that you don't do anything that produces income, like that, relates to your job. And that it's a day of rest and worship.
Which is really, really, really hard to do, especially if you're in business for yourself, especially if you're doing something you're passionate about. Because, once again, this isn't work to me.
Yeah, but it is. Yes. Well, I think, too, I kind of find that because I blog. And I choose to blog on Sundays because that's the most relaxing day for me because I've been to church. I have the Sunday reflection class that I teach. And so I personally take all day Friday as my day not to work. And I'm fortunate because my husband, he works at home that day. So I see him even though it's not his day to be off. But I'm still with my family. And I'm able to enjoy my grandson because Friday mornings we always go out and eat. Lexi and Levi and my parents, we always do that as a family thing because we've had a lot of illness and things in the family recently. And we want to make sure we have that time. So I think it's really important when and I'm going to read this, Psalm 23, 1-3 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. He tells us to lie down and rest. And in the Bible, we are told to rest that one day a week." And honestly, I think that when people don't rest or they don't take that time to refresh and worship and fully be in God, they're not having a good quality life.
And, okay, I'm going to agree with you on that. I think I may be the exception.
Well, I think we always think we are. But let me tell you, starting about 8 weeks ago, I fully started taking that full Friday.
Yeah.
If someone texted me about Grateful Gratitude or could I do a speaking engagement, I just left it. And quite frankly, a lot of Fridays, my phone's not even near me. I'm cut off that much.
Wow.
Very hard in the beginning, but let me tell you, I'm living a much more fulfilled life. and I'm getting everything done.
You don't freak out because you're out of touch.
Nope.
Okay, I don't know if you said that because you just saw me. I realized my phone is just about 4 feet away from me on the other side of the room. But no, I mean, there's definitely a lot to that, especially to me if you're working a job and living a life that's a very hectic, stressful life, you've got to take that time to refresh.
Well, I look at people who are constantly working and they're very frustrated because things aren't going right at work. And so if things aren't going right at work, they carry that home to their family. And it's just a lot of things that aren't really great, So I would say if you can't take a full day, try taking a third of a day. Instead of working all day on whatever day you normally do, or if you want to make it Sunday and you're going to go worship at church and do something with the family, if you have to work, put it off till 5, maybe 5 to 9 o'clock at night.
You know what? That's great advice because I do that actually. And the day that I do that is on Wednesdays, actually, where I've got it blocked off so that no one you can't make an appointment with me on Wednesday. But if people call me, I can come in on Wednesday. But so Wednesdays are very relaxing and very kind of low key. I'm wearing flip flops right now.
Yeah, I know it's very laid back.
So that's really good advice because baby steps, I guess. Because I don't know if I could take a full day.
Well, I think a lot of people feel they can't because they kind of measure their worth by their achievements with work,
and that is so wrong.
It is wrong, but in this society, that is true, and that does happen. And I think that, people think that if I can't attain this, or if I can't have this, I'm not worthy, or I'm worthless to my family.
I've referred to people that when they get their W-2, I call it their report card. Because that's how they judge how they did this year.
That's a great point.
And that should not be your report card. There's nothing wrong with making money at all.
No, well, we have to have money to live.
But to judge your worth on what that W-2 says at the end of the year, it's just not. It's not the right priority as far as I'm concerned. And I feel bad for people that are like that.
Well, I agree with you. And I want to tell you a few ways that you can rest more and value God, because that day off has been set by God. Even God rested on the seventh day. So what better example to follow than God's example? So I want to just remember to appreciate what I have. There's so many people that don't have what I have. And even if I say, you know what, I've got food in the refrigerator, I've got a great husband that loves me, and I've got a roof over my head, I don't need 75 different outfits. I don't need 100 pairs of shoes. That's above and beyond what my needs are. And you probably laugh at, I don't know if you laugh at this or not, but I've known you a while now. And I have 2 pairs of boots that I absolutely love, and I just will not replace them because they're not worn out.
Yeah.
And it's funny how things kind of change like that. The other thing I think is when we adjust our values and think, God should be number one. And God's going to provide for us when we follow what he wants us to follow. But it's not all about the almighty dollar. It can't be. Because when it's all about the almighty dollar, we are not worshiping God. We're worshiping money. And our health will suffer. Our family will suffer. Everything will suffer if we don't do that.
And the money can come and go. Everyone listening to this and everyone watching this, you've lived it. Money comes and goes.
I've lived it. I'm sure you've lived it.
Yes.
I mean, I've been high on the hog at one time and totally broke. So I know it does come and go.
But your inner peace stays with you all the time.
Right. And I think the last thing would be to realize that we are here for God's purpose. And since we're here for God's purpose, we don't need to worry about making all that money or not taking time off and not resting. There's just so many things that we miss in a day's time because we're too busy to see it. And there's a lot of beautiful, wonderful kindness going on around us.
Absolutely.
So there you have it.
Okay, how can we find you guys?
Oh, Facebook is, we have a page. Facebook is Grateful Gratitude. Let's see, there's so many different things. The podcast, of course, is here. The blog is gratefulgratitude.net. Instagram is Grateful Gratitude. So I usually have Lexi to do all that social media, so I'm a little lost with that. That's okay. But until next time, I hope you slow down and rest.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.